is calling 2022 CR 0841C, State of Texas versus Kayla Connor. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Michael Hillary out the stage.
For the defense?
David Blair here.
And are you Kayla Connor? All right. So everyone, please whisper. And I'm going to need everyone to speak up so I can hear because my allergies are acting up a little bit today. So the reason we are here, it's a compliance. And I guess it's a request from your client to live somewhere other than Bexar County. And I asked that certain people be present today. And I've requested that the CPS workers be present. And my understanding probation is present. So would anyone like to call a witness with regards to her living somewhere other than San Antonio? Or am I going to call witnesses?
I'll defer to them.
All right. We'll call, yes.
I apologize. Just so that you're aware, the one that's the CPS worker on Zoom is in Travis County. The one here in court is from Bexar County.
All right. So who needs to leave first? Because I know that I received a message.
San Antonio.
All right. Could the San Antonio caseworker please come forward? Hello.
Hello.
All right. Could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right. You can lower your hand if you can state your name for the record.
Amy Loper.
All right. And what is your relationship to Kayla Connor?
I was the family-based worker for her until about October, beginning of October.
All right. And can you tell the court whether or not you were aware while you were the family-based worker that Ms. Connor left Bexar County and left San Antonio to live elsewhere?
So she did not tell me when she actually left. I did know that her paramour had a job opportunity in Austin, and just asked them to let me know when they go so I could get a worker in that area that could work with them.
All right. So she didn't request permission to leave?
I was aware. Yes, I was aware.
No, my question is, did she request permission to leave?
No, but we don't require that.
Okay. Were you aware that she was using marijuana?
I was when her probation officer contacted me.
All right. So you were aware after this court asked her if she was going to be positive for drugs. That's the only time you were aware?
The beginning of October is when I heard from her probation officer. So I visited with her the first week of October to discuss that.
And while you had her in the family-based services program, how often were you in contact with her?
Typically once or twice a month.
All right. And have you had any contact? And I know CPS workers calls them paramours, but I'm assuming that's her boyfriend / fiance. Have you had any contact with him?
Phone contact only since October, but yes, I was visiting him as well.
All right. Did you do any research into his background?
We did have we do criminal background checks and background checks.
All right. And did you do that?
That was done during the investigation.
And were there any issues with regards to his background?
Not that I can recall. But
did you ever visit the place where she was moving?
I have not. The worker in Travis County.
Right. Was that place reviewed before she moved there?
No.
Were you aware that she had to get permission from this court to leave Bexar County?
I was.
And did you make her aware of that?
I asked her if she had asked permission, and she said she was waiting to hear back.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions for this witness?
So
Yes.
So Ms. Loper, is that
Yes.
correct? You have had contact with Kayla since October, or
Only by phone.
by phone, and you discussed with?
Okay, just 1 second. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to ask you guys to step back on my right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to ask you guys to step back because we're on the record.
And you mostly discussed what her living arrangements?
Yes, just trying to figure out what worker needed to be in contact.
Did you see anything that might have led you to believe that she shouldn't move or that could move, or did you have any
No, because he was looking for work for months prior, and so the fact that he could provide for a family.
But he did find a job.
Yes.
And what kind of job? Do you
At
know what
Tesla.
kind of- Tesla?
Mhm.
In what city?
In Austin.
Okay. I'll pass. That's when.
When I just trying to figure out dates wise, when did she get assigned a new caseworker? What caseworker in Austin?
That would have been after I spoke with Ms. Abrams, and she let me know that she had moved. I filed the transfer paperwork right away, and I want to say she went out probably 2 or 3 days later. So second week of November.
Okay, so as of that time, that's when she would not have been on your caseload anymore? Right. Okay. And prior to that, had she tested positive for marijuana?
She did not for me. The first time I heard of it was the probation officer beginning of October.
Okay. And how often was she being tested?
She was tested. I don't have it on me. I'm sorry. It's random. So it's not a specified amount of time, but I know she was scheduled to finish her outpatient treatment the end of September. So then we would have tested her after she completed. But then by then I had heard from.
Were you aware that she was pregnant?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So knowing that doesn't change CPS's requirements about testing her or anything like that?
No.
No. Okay.
Mm-mm.
I'll pass the list.
Yeah. just
Yes.
Very briefly. So you made visits in October, and you saw the children and everything. And did they seem to be adequately taken care of?
Yes.
So you had no problems.
Yes, they did.
So you really didn't have any issues with that?
No, I did not.
That's what.
How many times had you tested her during the family-based services?
I don't have it in front of me. I want to say 2 times.
2 times.
2 months.
All right. And how many months did you have her?
I want to say in April or May.
Okay.
But we typically don't test until they're well into services because we wouldn't expect anything to have changed if she hasn't gotten any service.
So how many months did you have her in family-based services?
3 or 4 months.
3 or 4 months. In that 3 or 4 months, you may have tested her approximately twice. All right. And with family-based services, as part of that, you're expecting the person who's in the services to be honest with you.
Yes.
All right. So did Ms. Connor ever come to you and tell you that she had used?
Did not.
All right. Any other questions?
None at this time, Your Honor.
All right. Is this witness excused?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you. All right. CPS caseworker Perez.
Your Honor, Flor Perez Chavez, yes.
Thank you. All right. Does anybody have any question to these 2 witnesses appearing by Zoom? Ms. Perez is actually in the location where Ms. Connor is looking to move.
Your Honor,
Just one moment, please. Any objections?
No objection.
None would say.
All right. Ms. Perez, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
yes.
All right. You can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
Flor Perez Chavez, FBSS caseworker in Travis County.
All right. Either party want to question this witness?
I can't do it. Is it Ms. Chavez or Ms. Perez Chavez?
Perez Chavez, correct.
Ms. Perez Chavez, when was Ms. Connor placed onto your caseload?
I received the courtesy request on November 8th, and I made a call to Ms. Connor asking her home address, and I made the visit on November 9th.
Okay, so you actually visited the home on November 9th?
Yes, she was in Riverside that time in Travis County, yes.
Okay, and has she remained on your caseload since then?
She has remained on my caseload. However, I did receive an email shortly after my visit that she was ordered to return and that I was basically that I was not going to need to see her again.
Okay. So when you received that email that she was ordered to remain in Bear County, did you have that conversation with her as well that she needed to return to Bear County?
No, I received an email from her primary caseworker, just to my supervisor, and me let me know that I no longer needed to go visit her.
Okay. So are you aware of anybody who had conversations with Ms. Connor about the need from
No.
CPS that she needed to return to San Antonio?
I was not aware that of any of that.
As far as CPS is concerned, is it important for your investigation and your supervision that she be in compliance with any court orders, especially as it relates to criminal cases?
Yes.
Okay. And so if she was in Austin, would it be fair to say that she was not in compliance with the court's orders?
Yes, I'm assuming. Yes.
Okay. When she was on your caseload, did you ever test her for like urine analysis for any type of drug use?
I took with me an oral swab drug test. I offered it. Ms. Connor stated that she was drug testing with probation and to refer to probation.
Okay. So at that point, she didn't want to test using the oral swab.
No, I took it with me.
Okay. Is that concerning for CPS when somebody refuses to submit to any type of drug testing?
Yes, it can be concerning. Yes.
Was it concerning in this case?
Yes, I believe I called her the following day addressing drug use, and she stated that she had used some legal vape pen that they sell at gas stations, and then she didn't know that that was going to cause her to pop dirty.
Okay. At that point, did you know that she was pregnant?
Yes.
Okay. So besides the one attempt to drug test her and the one field visit to her location, which I believe you stated was on Riverside, did you have any other in-person contact with Ms. Connor?
I did. I got an email at the beginning of December from Ms. Amy Lauper, the other caseworker, stating that Ms. Connor had not returned and that I needed to go see her again. By this time, I realized she was now in another county, in Hays County, which is now Buda. I still went over there from Travis County to go visit them to make sure that, they were there.
Okay. And so at that point, were you successful in making contact with her in Buda?
Yes.
Okay. And did you discuss with her ever that essentially, why are you still living not in Bear County when the court has ordered you to be in Bear County?
Yeah, she continued to say that she was working with her probation officer and she was communicating. She made it appear that she was in compliance.
Okay. So at that point, she told you that she was aware that she was supposed to be in Bear County, but that she was working with her probation officer.
Correct.
Am I understanding correctly? Did you talk with her probation officer specifically about those issues?
I did not. I did. I called the caseworker.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Other than after this last time you made contact with her in Buda, did you ever have any other in-person contact with her?
I did. I saw her on yesterday. Yesterday, I went over to her place again, and she agreed to a parenting course, and she agreed to an oral swab test.
Okay. And did you do the oral swab test?
Yes.
And what was the results?
They were sent out to the lab yesterday.
Okay. When do you expect you might have results on this?
Within 7 days.
Okay. And was she still residing in Buda at that point?
Yes.
At the same location you visited her before?
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever, I'm assuming you haven't seen her today, right?
No.
In person. Did you have any other phone contact with Ms. Connor?
A few other calls during this December, and my other contacts were regarding another investigation case that was going on. That they were calling me and things like that. But yeah, that's about it.
Okay. What were the nature of the phone calls about?
See if she was still there. I think just making visits.
Okay, you said that she was, I guess, subject to another investigation with CPS.
Correct.
What is the status of that case?
I am not aware of the status of that case yet.
Okay, what was the nature of why she is, I guess, subject to another investigation with CPS?
From my understanding, another intake came in shortly after I made my first visit in December regarding Ms. Connor and sexual abuse allegations from another county in Corpus.
Okay. And so, do you know if that case is still pending and still under investigation with CPS?
I'm not sure what the case's status as of now.
Okay. Are you aware that she gave birth to a child on December 12th?
Yes, I visited exactly shortly after she was released from the hospital to go see the baby.
Okay. And did you make contact with her at the hospital?
No, I did not.
Was she at the hospital then?
From my understanding, investigations was making contact with her at the hospital.
Okay. Were you aware that her child was born positive to THC, with THC?
Yes, that is also part of the another intake that came in.
Okay. So there's 2 additional intakes that have come in since she's been placed on probation. Is that fair to say?
Yes, that would be fair to say.
So I'm a possible witness, Judge.
Defense?
Sure, thank you. Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me? Okay,
Yeah, just speak up a little bit.
okay. Did you have any contact with the paramour when you were supervising?
Yes, yeah, and actually on my visits, Mr. Treadwell was there.
Okay. And did they give you any indication on their relationship? They were definitely a couple. They're living together and all that?
Yes, he seemed very supportive. There with the children, the father of the kids, holding them. He again spoke in her defense, saying that, you know, she was going to test through probation. She was following probation and she was complying there. So he had no concerns regarding her caring for the children.
Were you aware of his employment status at that time?
When I first met him, he told me that they wanted the case to remain in San Antonio because of there were services that they were doing that Ms. Connor was doing there, but he had to move because of his job. He got a job at Tesla at the Gigafactory, and that is the reason why they ended up moving.
And now the contact that you had with Ms. Connor and the children, how were they? Did they seem adequately taken care of?
Yes, they were running around. Yes, they're very playful. I never saw any bruises or marks on them or them crying or anything like that.
I'll pass away this.
Any further questions?
Just one further question, Judge. Are you aware that Ms. Connor is on probation for injury to a child?
Yes, I became aware of that when we had a staffing.
That's not the exact charge. The exact charge is by omission.
All right. It's injury to a child by omission. Are you aware of that?
No, not the full details, no.
I have no further questions.
Any other questions?
No, you're.
All right. So did you verify her boyfriend's paramour / fiance's employment?
I have not, Your Honor.
And they were in Travis, then they moved to Buda. Is that what I'm hearing?
Correct.
And where are they staying? Are they staying in a place that they're leasing?
From my understanding, it's a month-to-month lease.
Okay. And does CPS think that is appropriate for children to be in a place for a month-to-month lease?
I was told that they are waiting to get the case transferred and approved before they would sign a full lease.
So since she's had these children, How many moves have they made?
From Austin to Buda to.
All right. And with regards to these sexual abuse allegations, I know you can't go into them in great detail, but who is the alleged victim of the sexual abuse? Is it a child?
Correct, Your Honor.
And is there an allegation of who the perpetrator is?
Correct, yes.
And who would that perpetrator allegedly be? Is it someone that she knows?
Yes.
Is it someone that she is alleged to have lived with?
Yes.
Do you not find it concerning to have her in a place that they only have been in or are living in from month to month? There are allegations of a child testing positive for marijuana at birth, an allegation of sex abuse against one of the children. Do you find that concerning?
When the intake came in, investigations was working on placing a safety plan. We were following, I was in the process of following with the safety plan, asking them if we can get someone to supervise. We have been trying with investigations, but there has not been one in place yet.
All right. Thank you. Are there any more questions for this witness?
Nothing to say.
No, Your Honor.
All right. Is she excused?
Yes, sir.
All right, Ms. Pettis, you can be excused or either you can remain on to see what the court's ruling is going to be with regards to whether or not Ms. Connor can transfer. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor.
Would anyone like to call if you could probation?
state
State your name for the record.
Judge, just say we'll
My
call.
name is Sylvia
All right, could you
Cirola.
unmute yourself, please? All right, does anyone have any objection to this witness testifying by Zoom defense? Would you raise your right hand for me?
No, Your Honor.
Yes.
All right, you may affirm the testimony
Thank
you
you,
give will be the truth and nothing
Ms.
but the
Cirola,
truth, so help you
are
God?
you Ms. Connor's
Yes, Your
current,
Honor.
All right, if you could state your name for the record.
My name is Sylvia Cirola. Yes,
All
that
right,
is
does
correct,
anyone
sir.
have any objection
And
to
how
this
long has she
witness
been on your
testifying by Zoom
She has
defense?
been on my
Okay.
caseload since she
Say-
was granted, which
All right,
was
you may proceed.
August the 25th of 2022, sir.
Are you Ms. Connor's current,
So
I'm not talking
you're aware that the
pre-trial,
court
supervised
orders her to
supervision
remain in
officer?
Bear County, correct?
Yes, that is correct, sir.
And how long has she been on
And-
your caseload?
I want to talk
She
about how
has
many
been on my
times you've had that
caseload since she was
conversation
granted,
with
which
Ms.
was
Connor.
August
Do you know how
the
many times you
25th of
told her that she needed to
2022,
remain in
sir.
Bear County? Okay.
Yes, sir.
so-
I told her when I went over
You're
her
aware that the court
conditions
ordered her to
initially
remain in
in
Bear County,
September
correct?
at
That
our
is
first
correct.
visit. So I went over all
And
her conditions.
I want to talk about how many times
explained
you've had that conversation
everything
with
that she
Ms.
needed
Connor.
to do.
You know how many
She
times you
said
told her that she
that
needed to remain
she was
in Bear County?
aware of and
Yes, sir.
understood
I
exactly
told
what she
her
needed
when
to
I
do
went over
over
her
her conditions
probation.
initially in
And then
September.
also
at
I
our
told
first visit.
her
So I went over all her
about
conditions.
maybe
I
3
explained
weeks
everything that she needed to do.
before,
She
about
said
3 to
that
4 weeks
she was
before
aware
she
of
moved
and understood
county.
exactly
She came
what she
to an
needed to
office
do
visit
while on
and she
probation.
stated that
And
she
then
might be
also
moving.
I told her,
And
she told me
about
that her
maybe
boyfriend
3 weeks
was possibly going to get a job.
before,
He had
or
gone to an
about
interview,
3 to 4
possibly
weeks
going to get a
before
job
she
in
moved
Austin with
out of the
Tesla.
county,
And
she
they would
came
have
to
to
an
move.
office visit and
At that
she
point,
stated
I
that she might be
advised her
moving.
of her
And
conditions.
she told
I
me that
advised
her
her she is
boyfriend
not allowed to
was
move, possibly
unless
going to get a
the
job.
judge
He had
gave
gone to
her
an interview,
permission.
possibly going to
So
get a
I
job.
explained how
in
the judge
Austin
would give her
Tesla,
permission. I
and
said
they would have to move. I got to submit a document.
At that point,
We
I
addressed the
advised
facts,
her
and it would
of
be up
her
to the judge to
conditions.
allow you to move.
I
You
advised
cannot
her
just
she is
leave
not
the
allowed
county.
to move.
And she
unless
said, "Well, I'm going to
the
be homeless."
judge gave
and
her
I
permission.
said, "Well,"
So I explained how the
Ms.
judge
Connor
would give her permission.
A lot of
I said,
people, I got to submit a
commute
document
from Bear
we
County
address the
to
facts,
Travis
and it would
County
be up to the judge to allow
every
you
day
to
on a
move.
daily
You
basis.
cannot just
They
leave the
work there,
county.
but they live here.
And she said,
So
"Well, I'm
if
going to be
your-
homeless."
if your
And I
boyfriend gets a
said,
job there,
"Well,
that would be
what
what
would need to happen.
A lot of people
So you
commute
because you need to stay here
from Bear County
And she
to
said,
Travis
"No,
County
because he's not
every
going to be
day
able
on
to
a daily
pay two
basis.
different
They work there,
rents,
but they
so
live
she
here.
said, "So
He
if
can't pay rent
if
from
your
me here
boyfriend gets
and
a
pay
job
rent
there
in Austin. That
and
would
I
be
said,
what
"Well,
would
then in
need to
that
happen.
case, he would have to commute." So
I said,
because
because
you
you
were
need to
not
stay here.
allowed to leave the county. You
And
have
she
field
said,
visits 3
no,
times a
because
month.
he's not going to be able to
And
pay
you
two
are not allowed to
different
move without
rents.
the judge's
So
permission.
she said, he can't pay rent for me
She
here
didn't tell
and
me
pay
that she
rent in
moved.
Austin.
And I said,
I
well, then in
found
that
out
case,
on my
you
own
would
that
have
she
to commute
moved.
because I had called the CPS
I said, because you
worker,
were not allowed to leave the
and
county. You have field visits 3 times a month.
I notified the CPS worker that
you are
had
not
moved.
allowed to move without the
We
judge's
found
permission.
out
that
she didn't
had
tell me that she
moved
moved after she
I
had been
found
there
out
already
on my
own that she
3
moved
weeks,
because
I
I had
believe.
called the
And you know
CPS worker.
approximately when that was.
And I would have to look
I
at my
notified
notes,
the CPS
sir,
worker that she had
on-
moved.
in her
We
file.
found out,
But she
that
was already
she had
living there when she
moved
went to her first compliance
after she
hearing
had been there already
with the
like
judge.
3
Okay.
weeks, I
And on
believe.
that day,
And
I
you know
told her,
approximately when that was.
you know, you need to come.
I would have
you
to
need
look at
come
my
back,
notes, the last
sir,
office visit we had.
in her
And
file.
so I told her,
But
you can address
she
that
was
with the judge.
already living
Does
there when
November
she went to
14th
her
of
first
2022
compliance
sound correct,
hearing.
when she
with
had
the
her last
judge.
court date when she also
And on
tested
that
positive for
day,
marijuana
I
in
told
court?
her,
Yes, that is correct. That's
you
the
know, you
last
need to
day
come.
that she tested
You need
positive.
to come back. the
Yes,
last
sir.
office
And visit we
uh-huh.
had.
So you spoke with
And
her
so
on November
I
14th of
told her,
2022,
you can
letting her
address
know
that
that
with
she
the judge.
needed to be in. Does November 14th of 2022
Yeah, she's known
sound
that she
correct,
needed to
when
be
she
in
had
Bear
her
County.
last
Yes,
court
sir.
date when she also tested positive for marijuana in court?
Yes, that is correct. That's the
And
last
so,
day that she tested positive. Yes, sir.
you-
And
You've also spoke
you
to her,
spoke with
is
her
it fair to say,
on
on November
November
15th of 2022, the next
letting her
day,
know that she needed
when
to
you
be in
called to
Bear County.
inquire about her plans to
yeah,
move
she's
back to
known
San
that she
Antonio.
needed to be in Bear yes, County.
that is
Yes, sir.
correct, sir.
I
Okay.
have been in contact with her, and I had been asking
so,
her, "What are your
um,
plans? Have you been looking for a place
You've
to
also
stay?"
spoke to her,
And
is it fair to say, on
she
November
she
15th of
stated
2022, the next day,
that she has not,
when you
because
called to inquire
her
about her
boyfriend
plans to move back to San
rented
Antonio?
an Airbnb
Yes, that is
for a
correct,
month,
sir. I
and she
have
couldn't
been in
come
contact
back.
with
And I
her,
told her, and I
yes,
had
but
been
you were in
asking
court
her,
that
"What are your
morning.
plans?" And the
Have you
judge
been
told
looking
you
for a
you
place
needed
to
to come back to
stay?
Bear County. And her boyfriend,
she stated,
according to some of
that
the
she has
emails that
not,
she sent
because
me,
her
boyfriend rented
rented
an Airbnb for a month, and she couldn't
one
come
of those
back.
apartments.
And I told her, in the
Yes,
afternoon
but
at
you were in
3 something
court
in the
that
afternoon,
morning,
but she had been in court, and the judge
that
told
morning.
you needed to come back to Bear
So,
County. Her
From what I
boyfriend,
understand,
according to some of the
she sent you some
emails that she
emails
sent me,
documented on November 14th.
her boyfriend rented
November
that
16th,
Airbnb,
one
of those
that she had
apartments,
rented
in the
rooms,
afternoon at 3
to
something
stay
in the
which would have been
afternoon, but she had
after
been
her
in court
compliance hearing
that
in
morning.
court on November 14th of 2020. From what I
That is
understand,
correct, sir. Yes.
she sent you some emails documented on November 14th. At that point, did you give her November 16th a deadline? And November 16th that she had rented rooms in San Antonio to stay in, which would have been after
Yes,
her
sir. I
compliance hearing
advised
in
her.
court
She's like, "Oh,
on
what I didn't
November
know.
14th
The
of
judge didn't say."
2022.
She
That is correct,
stated
sir,
this
yes.
to me right after court.
Um,
She said, "The judge didn't
At
tell
that
me
point, did you give
how long
her
I had to come
a
back."
deadline?
She goes, "She
essentially,
didn't give
when
me
she
a
needed to be
deadline."
back residing
And
in
so
San
I
Antonio,
told
Bear County.
her, "Well, you
Yes,
need to
sir.
get back
I
as soon as you
advised her.
can." She's like, "Oh, what I didn't
So I
know."
told her, well,
the judge
you know
didn't
what?
say
You have until the end of the
she
month.
Oh, I
stated
can't do
this
that.
to me right
So
after
I said,
court.
"Okay, well, you have
She
until
said,
December."
the judge didn't tell me
I think I
how
gave her
long
the
I
first
had
Friday
to
of
come
December.
back.
I think it was either
She goes,
December
she
the
didn't give me a
2nd or
deadline.
December the 3rd, one
And
of those.
so I told
my notes.
her,
And
well,
I
you
told her,
need to
"You
get
need to
back
be
as
back
soon
in the
as you
county
can."
by then. So I told her, "Well,
Okay.
you know what? You have until the end of the month." "Oh, I can't do that." So I said, "Okay, well, you have
So,
until December." I think I gave her the
after
first
that,
Friday of December.
did,
I think it was either December the
she,
2nd or December the 3rd, one
from my
of
understanding,
those.
she came
It's
to
in my notes. And I told her, "You need to be back in the county by
on the
then."
28th of November, and at that point, she was still residing in Austin, correct?
That is
So,
correct, sir. Yes.
After that,
Uh-huh.
did
And I
that
also, I'm sorry, sir. Go ahead.
From my understanding,
No,
she
and
came to
on that day, I also
an
addressed to her
in-person
because I
office
know that
visit
she
with
was,
you on the
testing
28th
positive,
of
and I know that
November,
she was still
and at that
using.
point, she was still residing
And she
in
still
Austin,
was
correct?
pregnant.
That is
And
correct,
I
sir.
went
Yes.
over
Okay.
and
discussed.
And I
that-
also,
Did
I'm
she
sorry, sir.
understand
Go ahead.
what?
No, and on that day, I also
THC,
addressed to
those
her
vape
because I
pens,
know
the
that she
Delta
was,
8s
you know,
due to an
testing
unborn
positive,
child,
and I know that she
and
was
I
still
read
using.
exactly to her what the
And she
FDA
still
states
was pregnant,
happens to
and I
a
went
unborn
over
child with the
and
parent who
discussed
is
did she
understand
consuming the
what,
Delta 8s?
and
She said, well, I
THC,
have
those
anxiety and I
vape
can't
pens, the
deal with
Delta 8s
everything.
due to
an unborn child.
Okay.
And I read exactly to
so
her what the FDA states
At
happens
that
to
point,
a unborn child with a
Is it your
parent who
understanding that she
is
was still not gonna be tested
consuming the
for
Delta 8s?
marijuana or THC?
And she said,
Yes,
well, I
that
have
is correct,
anxiety
sir,
and I
'cause she
can't
said
deal
that
with
she
everything. Smoked some Delta 8s. Yes.
So, and then I'm seeing on at that point, she was tested for levels. Is it your understanding that she was still submitted on testing clean for marijuana or THC? November 28th.
Yes, that
And
is
that came
correct, sir,
positive.
because she said
Feedback
that she
positive for
had
THC.
smoked some Delta 8s.
That is correct,
Yes.
sir.
And I also asked
then
her
I'm
to
seeing
confirm one of the urine samples to see if it
She was
was
tested for
the
levels.
Delta 8s or the
For a
THC.
sample that was submitted
And
on 11,
according to the lab, it was confirmed
November 28th.
THC.
and that came positive. Came back positive for THC.
That is correct, sir. And I
And then
also
are you
asked
aware
her to
of when she gave birth
confirm
on
one of
December
the
12th of
urine samples to
2022?
see if it was
Yes,
the
sir.
Delta
She had
8s
an
or the
appointment with me,
THC,
but she wasn't able to make that
and
appointment.
according to the
She
lab,
was en
it
route
was
when she
confirmed
gave
went
THC.
into labor and gave birth to her child. Yes, sir.
And are you aware of where that child was? Are you aware of when she gave
That
birth
child
on
was
December
born in
12th
Bexar
of
County, sir.
2022? Okay.
Yes, sir. She had an appointment with me, but she
Would
wasn't
it
able to
surprise
make
you
that
know the
appointment.
other-
She was en route when she
the CPS
went
worker just
into labor
testified she said she went to the
and
hospital
gave
in
birth to
Austin.
her
That's
child.
where the
Yes, sir.
was born. Okay. And are you aware of where that child was born?
That
She
child
sent
was born
me
in Bear County, sir.
documentation.
I asked
Okay.
her where she was at. She said, I'm in
Would
Bear
it surprise you
County.
to know that the
And
other,
she sent me a discharge order.
the CPS
Let me
worker just
pull that
testified
up
she
in
said
my
she went to the
notes.
hospital in Austin, and that's where the child was born.
And it says North Central
She
Baptist
sent me
Hospital.
documentation.
And it says
I asked her
520
where she was at.
She said,
Madison
I'm
Oak
in Bear
Drive,
County,
San Antonio, Texas.
And she sent me a discharge
So
order.
that, the documentation
Let me
that she
pull that
sent
up
you
in my
shows that
notes.
she actually gave birth to the child in Bear County.
Yes.
Okay.
And it says North Central Baptist
as of
Hospital.
Today.
And it says
which is
520
January
Madison
12th
Oak
of
Drive, San Antonio,
2023.
Texas.
Okay. Where is it the documentation that she sent you shows that she actually gave birth to the child in Meth Connor is residing?
Yes. My understanding is that she is still living in
as
Buda,
of
Texas.
Today, which is, has she sent you any January 12th of 2023 to show her efforts to where is it that to Bear County to be your understanding that
No,
Ms.
sir.
Connor is residing?
My understanding
she
is that
ever
she is still living in Buda,
Stated
Texas.
why she is unable or unwilling you any to move back to Bear County to show her per this court's order to move back to Bear County.
She just states
to
that
be
she can't
compliant
find a
with this
place. No, sir.
Has she ever? You've been a community supervision officer for how long? She is
19
unable
years,
or
sir.
unwilling to move back to Bear County. Probably fair to say that you've
per
helped
this
or have
court's
seen
order.
plenty of people on probation.
She just
move
states
within
that
Bear
she
County.
can't find a place. Yes, that is correct, sir.
You've been a community supervision
Is this
officer
an
for how
unusual
long?
case?
Or I should say,
19 years,
is it your
sir.
understanding that it's really that hard to find a place in Bear County? Probably fair to say that you've helped or have seen plenty
No,
of people
sir.
on probation move
I
within
have
Bear County.
people that
Yes, that
move
is
from
correct,
other
sir.
counties because it's easier to be in this county to report.
Is this an
So they
unusual
just rather
case?
move from
or I should say,
Comal or
is it your
Guadalupe
understanding that it's
and
really
just
that
move
hard to
into
find a
Bear.
place in
So,
Bear County?
this is a big city.
No,
And
sir.
it's not that
I
hard to
have
find somewhere
people
to live. Move from other counties because it's easier
At this point, Judge, I'll pass
to
it.
be in this county to report. So they just rather move from
Yes, ma'am. Could you,
Comal or
kind
Guadalupe
of go
and
over the
just
procedure
move into
again
Bear.
to,
So
to move out of
this is a
county?
big
We were
city
talking about some
and
form.
it's not that hard
that
to
you
find
fill out.
somewhere to live.
How does that work?
At this
I'm
point, Judge,
sorry,
I'll
sir.
pass
What
it.
was the question again? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
He wants to know, what
Yes,
is
ma'am. Could you,
the
kind
form
of go over
that's
the
needed to
procedure again
move to
to,
another county?
To move out of county procedure generally when someone wants to move?
Okay, well, the procedure is that they tell us, they give us proof. I'm sorry, sir. What was the question again? Where they want to live, I couldn't hear you. Why they want to
He
move,
wants to know,
who are they
what
going to be
is
living
the
with,
form
and they
that's
give us all
needed
the
to move
details.
to another county.
and then we notify the judge.
Procedure
And
generally
we ask
when
the
someone
judge,
wants to move.
judge, these are the
Okay, well, the
circumstances.
procedure is
Will you
that
allow this
they
person
tell us,
to
they give us
transfer
proof
to
of
X
where they
county
wanna
or
live,
why
X
they want to move,
state,
who
or
are they
whatever
going to
the
be
issue
living
is.
with? We submit
they give us all the
to the
details,
judge, and
and
it's
then
the
we
judge's
notify the
decision
judge,
to allow
and
a
we
transfer
ask the
or
judge,
not. Judge, these are the
And this form
circumstances.
is, I
Will
guess,
you
is a
allow
directive?
this
Is that correct?
person to transfer to
Once
X
the judge
county
gives us
or
permission,
X then we
state
go
or whatever
ahead
the issue is.
and we submit that to the judge
person
and it's the
make an
judge's
appointment with
decision
the
to allow
out-of-county
a
officers
transfer.
or not.
And they are
this
to
form
stay
is-
here
is, I guess,
into
is
the
a
out-of-county,
directive,
they
is that
see an out-of-county officer.
Once
That
the judge
officer then gives them a temporary
travel pass,
then we go ahead
until they are
and
accepted
we
to be
send
supervised
the person
in the
to we make an
county
appointment
that
with
they're
the
moving
out-of-county officers.
And this
And
form
they
was
are
never
to
filled
stay
out or
here
never submitted to
into
the
the
judge or
out-of-county,
anything?
they see an out-of-county
No,
officer.
this form was not submitted
That officer
because
then
she
gives them a
did not,
temporary travel pass.
give me any of the information
Until they are accepted.
She just
to be
moved without my
supervised
permission.
in the
Well, without the
county
judge's
that they're
permission,
moving
I
into.
never notified
And,
the judge
this form was
because
was
she
never
never
filled out
gave
or never
me
submitted to the judge.
an
or anything?
address, a specific
No, this
date
form
that she
was not
wanted to
submitted
move
because
there.
she did
Um,
not
give me any of the
boyfriend,
information.
she
His
just moved
job
without
was
my
still
permission.
pending. She's like, I don't
without
know
the
if
judge's
he's gonna get
permission.
hired or
I
not,
never
but it seems
notified
like
the
he
judge
will.
because
So it
she
wasn't
never
a for
gave
sure
me
thing when I talked to her
an address
between
that
a
visit
specific
and the
date
next
that
time
she
I saw
wanted to
her,
move
she had already
there.
moved.
The
And you said you saw
boyfriend,
her, but she had already
his
moved. Where did you see
job
her?
was still
In your
pending.
office?
She's like, I don't know
when
if
she
she's
came-
going to get
yes, sir.
hired or
So
not.
she
but
came
it
to
seems
her
like he
office
will.
visit.
So
She
it wasn't
told
a
me
for
that.
sure thing when I talked to her.
And
She
between
had
that
already
visit
by
and
the
the next time I saw her,
the
she had
following
already
month,
moved.
she had already moved.
And you said you saw
didn't
her
talk anymore
but
about
she had already moved. Where did you
boyfriend's
see her?
job
In your
or-
office?
No,
An
when
address,
she
or you
came,
didn't
yes,
ask her
sir.
for
So she
addresses
came
or
to
anything
her
like that?
office visit.
She said she was
She
living in a
told me
hotel.
that at first when they moved, they were living in
she
hotels,
had already
different
when-
hotels.
by the time I saw her,
So they were jumping around
she
from
had
hotel
already
to
moved.
hotel
And you
to,
didn't talk anymore
you know,
about
from one
the
place to another
boyfriend's
to
job
another.
or
And then they
an
got,
address, or you didn't
I
ask her
notified
for
the judge.
addresses or anything like that?
the judge said
She
a
said she was
compliance
living in a
hearing.
hotel. At first, when they
And
moved, they were
then
living in
after the
hotels,
compliance
different
hearing,
hotels.
She went
So they were jumping
back
around from
to
hotel to hotel.
Austin, and I think
to,
she stayed,
You know,
from one place to
she was
another to
staying at
another.
one little place,
And then they
for a
got
short time
I
until
notified
her
the judge.
husband got that
The judge set a
Airbnb for a month.
compliance hearing. And then after the
That's what it is.
compliance
Any
hearing,
other questions?
she went back
Nothing for the
to
mistake.
Austin, and I
Alright.
think she
Is this witness
stayed,
excused?
For the
she was
state's
staying at
perspective,
one little
yes.
place
All right, thank
for
you
a
so much
short
for coming
time
in. You can
until
remain on if you
her
want to hear the
husband
court's
got that
ruling.
Airbnb for a
Okay,
month.
thank you, Judge.
All right, any other witnesses?
Nothing for the mistake.
That's the witness.
Any other witnesses? Questions?
Just argument. Yeah.
All right,
Nothing for the mistake.
so, all right. Is this
let
witness
me
tell you both what I'm going to do?
For the state's perspective, yes.
Yes,
All right, thank you so much for coming
I
in. You
used
can
to do a
remain
lot
on
of
if you
work
want to
with
hear the
CPS,
court's so I
ruling.
realize CPS
Okay, thank you,
workers are
Judge.
overworked.
All right, any
But
other
I realize
witnesses?
in this
Nothing
case,
for the mistake.
there has not been
Any other
adequate
witnesses?
supervision
Just
of her
argument.
with children. All right. This is a criminal court. It's not a
let me tell you
CPS
both what I'm
court,
going to do.
but part of my job, at least part of the way I see my
used to do a
job
lot of work
is
with CPS.
if
So I
someone's
realize
before me on
CPS workers are
probation and they have
overworked,
minor children,
But I realize in this case,
I have to
there has
protect
not been adequate
society and look out for
supervision of
society.
her with
In this
children.
case, it's minor
This is a
children.
criminal court.
So the person
It's
I
not a
have before
CPS
me
court, but part
has
of my
not followed
job,
the court's rule.
at least
We
part
were
of
here
the way I
on
see my
November
job
14th,
is,
and I
if
specifically
someone's
said she's
before
to
me on
remain in Bear
probation
County.
and they have minor children,
She doesn't have stable
I have to
housing.
protect
She and her
society
boyfriend
and look out for
slash
society.
paramour
In this
slash
case, it's
fiance
minor
slash
children.
father of her
So the
children
person I have
are
before
moving
me
from place to place with
has
these
not
children.
followed the court's rule. The
We were
CPS
here
worker
on
is
November
not doing
14th, and I
adequate
specifically
supervision, or
said
either they're
she's to
coming in
remain in
and
Bear
doing
County.
spot checks, and their
She
spot
doesn't
checks
have
is,
stable housing.
"Oh, children are
She
running
and her
around. They seem
boyfriend
okay.
slash
They don't have any
paramour
bruises."
slash fiance
Then I'm being
slash
told
father of her
now that
children
there's some new
are moving from
allegation
place to place
that a
with
child
these
may have
children.
been sexually abused.
The
And the last
CPS
time we were
worker is
here,
not
I think she
doing
have
adequate-
children that are
adequate
under the
supervision,
age of
or either
5.
they're coming in and doing spot checks, and their spot checks is, "Oh, children are running around. They seem okay. They don't have any bruises." Then I'm being told now that there's some new allegation that a child may have been sexually abused. And the last time we were here, I think she have children that are under the age of 5. She has a newborn who's testing positive for marijuana, and she was here in this court and tested positive for marijuana. And the CPS case workers didn't even know she was using marijuana. That's not good. And she's not following my rules. This is what I am going to do. You are living in Bear County. Do you understand? You will be in Bear County by January 20th. If you're not here, a motion to revoke will be filed against you. and you're looking up spending a possibility of 10 years in prison, you will be in Bexar County. You're going to be supervised by this probation officer. There are going to be regular UAs. I'm going to want those field visits for 3 times per month. And please tell them to check on the children. You are not to have any males living in your home. That includes your paramour, boyfriend / fiance, whoever he may be. I'm shocked that the CPS caseworkers came in here saying that he works for Tesla, but nobody has any proof of that. It appears to me that they didn't make him do a service plan. In my experience, when you have children that are involved, any boyfriend / paramour / fiance, they're supposed to be doing the service plan as well. They're supposed to be drug tested as well. You're jumping from hotel to hotel, from house to Airbnb. You're going to be in Bexar County. And if you're not in Bexar County, motion to revoke is going to be filed. You're going to be here by January 20th. And if your fiance / boyfriend / paramour loves you, he will rent a Airbnb here, or he will rent you a hotel here, but you will be here. And you are lucky that I am not putting down a no unsupervised contact with children. But since Child Protective Services is involved and they're supposed to be doing their job, you're going to let them know where you're staying. You're going to call that caseworker in Travis County and tell her, I am back in Bexar County. And you're going to call that Bexar County family-based service worker. You're going to tell her, I'm back in Bexar County. I don't know why they haven't given you a legal case. You should have a legal case because your baby was born positive for drugs. Maybe they're understaffed. So people need to start paying more money so there can be more caseworkers. But your children are not being taken care of well by you. And you're not looking out for them. You're just living your best life and you're disregarding the rules that I've set. If you are not in Bexar County by January 20th at 9 a.m. living here, a motion to revoke will be filed. And when that motion to revoke is filed, what's going to end up happening is a warrant will be issued for your arrest. The police will pick you up wherever they may find you. If you're at an Airbnb in Austin, in Travis County, in Buda, wherever, with just you and your children, the police are going to come there. They're going to pick you up and they're going to call CPS to come pick up your children. And your children are going to be taken into care of CPS and you're going to go to the Bexar County Jail. Either you will make bond or you will not. And then we will hear the allegations of you not being where I told you to be. And you're going to be looking at potentially 10 years in prison. Do you understand? And when are you supposed to be back in Bexar County? 20. What time? All right. Is there anything else from either side?
Nothing further from the state.
All right. And I'm going to want a UA today. When you're tested today, what are the results going to be? Because you are getting a UA today. All right. We're going to do a UA today.